Yo, in the most recent town hall meeting, President Joe Biden mentioned that he has not had a chance to go south border. But the good news is his approval rating has. This is Epic Thoughts. What up, everybody at YouTube and Facebook? It's your show. It's our show. It's a show where we talk mad mess and have a good time talking about interesting topics. It's Epic Thoughts. Yo, I am your host, Rohmon, president of Heritage Park Productions, entrepreneur, artist, whatever else you want to call me. Just don't call me after 10:30 on weekdays unless you got money to give me. Then I'll answer the call. But then I wouldn't know. So don't call unless you're going to do it. We have a wonderful day, wonderful show for you. If you were on this morning on HBTV or Epic or Heritage Park or our YouTube page, we had a wonderful guest, my man, and I forgot to pull up his bio. So I'm going to wing it. So I'm going to wing the bio. So I know this dude. This is one of the coolest dudes that I've ever met in my whole life. Just straight up. Dang it, I need I need it. Let me pull it up real quick because I was like gonna wing it, and I was like, he married with 3 kids and a dog, and he now is in Houston. He is a financial services. Is the word advisor? Is that the best word to use? Advisor?
Just life insurance agent. Life insurance
agent, broker. Yeah, broker, and he's Army vet, military. He served in the military. This guy's just been around the world. And my man, my homeboy for the second time today, Mr. Anthony Griffith. What's up? What's up, brother?
Bro? What's up, man?
Thanks for coming on the show. Yo, this is his second time on the show today, on HBTV today. We've done 2 things. We did but first coffee, and then we did we're doing Epic Thoughts. Why am I losing my brain today? I don't understand. So but he's gonna be with me tonight, and this is gonna be so exciting. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about some good stuff. But real quick, make sure you check out my little shameless plug. Make sure you go to heritageparkproductions.com and check out the website. I was going to put the t-shirts up, but I can't figure out where they are. I totally didn't plan to put it up. And so, but if you go on the store and you purchase anything, if you type in Epic at the checkout counter, you'll get 20% off the entire order. All right. So, and there's no minimum. All right. So go to heritageparkproductions.com and everything on there, not just the Epic Thoughts shirts, but everything on the store is 20% off. You just got to type in Epic. And that's Heritage Park. heritageparkprod.com. All right, man. Anthony, how are you again? I know I asked you already, but how are you doing?
Doing fantabulous, man.
Yeah.
I guess you can say I'm coming down from the craziness I was just running around doing and stuff. So.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who weren't watching the show this morning, Anthony does a lot of things, and he had training tonight. And I was like, yo, let me just start by saying this. I've been trying to get Anthony on this show for like a year now. Because I remember it was around this time last year, and I was like, yo, I need to get you on the show. And he was like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. And I was like, yeah, just come on the show. And I was like, we talk about money, we can talk about it. Nah, I don't know if I'm an expert. I remember that's what you said.
Yep,
I don't know if I'm an expert. I was like, I'm not an expert. What am I an expert of? So man, got you on here, and he's just clean, bro. He's tearing it up. So I really appreciate your time. You got up, well, I don't know if you got up early because you're in Houston. So you're 2 hours ahead of me right now. But you're staying up late. So I appreciate that right there.
Of course, man.
All right, man, let's get into it. There's so many things to talk about. I got some other things just if we come to an agreement, which we probably will, because I feel like we feel the same. So I couldn't think of a name for this show, so I called it Cancel Culture. And I wanted to, it's time, bro, that somebody steps up and says, you know what, I'm going to cancel culture. it's time for us to cancel culture. Dave Chappelle. Well, let's talk about Dave Chappelle real quick. Dave Chappelle just released, not just released. It's a couple of weeks old now, or maybe a month. The Closer, another Netflix special, and Dave Chappelle he did this Dave Chappelle thing, right? And of course, cancel culture comes after him. They said that he was using a lot of hate speech, and his conversations, the content of his comedy special was insinuating violence against the transgender community specifically, and the LGBTQ community, literally, or on a widespread, but mostly specifically to transgender. And there's so much things to unpack, but now they're trying to cancel him to the point where he had a documentary about George Floyd that he wanted to put in the festivals, and the festivals have decided, not corporately but individually, that they're going to drop and not play the film. And so this is a crazy situation, and of course whenever somebody does something wrong, we have to march, and we have to be on street corners with signs and pickets and boycott Dave Chappelle. But you know what, though, I'm gonna ask you what you think about this in a second, but I just want to point out, there's people in the industry and in the world altogether, they're just uncancelable. Right. You can't, they're uncancelable. Like Dave Chappelle is uncancelable. And especially you can't cancel somebody. Listen, we know Dave Chappelle. Like there's people who've been rocking Dave Chappelle since like early 2000. There's people who've been rocking Dave Chappelle since the 90s. Okay. And what we do know about Dave Chappelle is that he left Comedy Central, and we know how much money he left on the table. So to say that you can cancel Dave Chappelle, you can't cancel Dave Chappelle. He's just before there was social media, he left money on the table. You know what I'm saying? It was like, forget you, I'm gonna do my thing. And that's what he does. And so he even made a statement that he's releasing the film out of his own pocket. That's how you know you can't cancel him. He's like, all right, I'll release the movie myself. But Dave Chappelle, if you need help producing your film or getting it out, Heritage Park Productions. They can't cancel us either, because we got nothing to cancel. But anyways, let's talk about it, man. Let's unpack this, Anthony. Cancel culture is become a toxic. I think it's become toxic. What do you think? Do you think it's become toxic? Is it something that's necessary? Something that we need? What do you think?
No, I don't actually think we need necessarily cancel culture. Why do I say that? I believe that people should be able to do and say what they want, and you don't. It's crazy to say, but you don't have to listen.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the big things. And now it's trying to cancel everybody. I mean, I'm trying to go back and think of all the different comedians I've heard. Like, how many? If we were to take what's going on right now back even 5 to 7 years, how many people wouldn't even be able to like do anything that they wanted to do?
No. What people don't realize, here's it. And you know what? I have a thought. Go with me on this one. I think cancel culture has been around for a while, but it's just been different, because if we didn't like something, we'd cancel it by not supporting it with our dollars. You know what I'm saying? And that people have told me I am a what's the word, capitalist, or maybe I am a capitalist, because I believe in survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? If I don't think that we should bail out Taco Bell. Like if Taco Bell can't operate, then Taco Bell needs to be shut down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about putting your best business plan, your best thing forward, best foot forward. And if the people like you, they'll support you with their money. And if they don't like you, then they won't support you with their money. And that's canceled. You're canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how cancel culture works, in my opinion. I think it's always been around. But what bothers me is when we try to cancel somebody by messing with the corporation and not our own money. Because now people are like, Netflix needs to cancel Dave Chappelle. Well, you can cancel Dave Chappelle by not watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to support him with your money, and the more, and I think people are just mad because he's uncancelable, because I think it was it was 2 Saturdays ago. Not this last Saturday, but 2 Saturdays ago. He did a show in London and it sold out. So clearly he's not missing out anything, you know. So yeah. That's what cancel culture should be. And we're at a different place. This is a different time, man. Different time.
100%. I mean, everybody feels that because the way they feel, number one, all these other people should feel the same way. And if I feel this way, then that's it. Like if I feel this way, that's the thing. That's how we are. We're done with that. And it's no, you can't. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you're not the only person in the world. Even if it's 10,000 people, you're not the only 10,000 people in the world that feel that way or that feel a certain way. It doesn't work that way. Like you said, I know it's crazy to say, but capitalism, I mean, if you want to cancel them, don't go see a show. Like we have the conversation with some people I know about things like, oh my gosh, it costs so much to go to a basketball game. Well, if you don't pay for it and they're not making any money, then they're going to lower the prices. So,
exactly.
But enough people are going, so obviously the price is not a problem.
And I think people need to understand that point. That point you just made is very important to understand because we do have powers to make decisions with how we spend our money. You know what I'm saying? Like my money literally will. That's why I like supporting in small businesses and stuff because I want to support them. If they got the same shirt that Walmart got, I'm gonna go to the independent person because I want to show them I support them with their money. That's a plug for Heritage Park Productions. Buy our shirts. Gross. Anyways, but I think it's very important that that we make our voices be heard financially. So, and you're right. Like I'm trying to think of something like in real time where I've had this experience where I'm like, you know what? If we okay. We're not going to use the app. We're not going to say the app's name. But right before the show, we were talking about an app. And you told me, don't pay for it, you know, because just if you keep playing with it, keep messing with it, they're going to contact you and they'll be like, yo, we'll give you a whole year for $9. And I'm like, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Let the companies compete for our attention. Let the companies compete and value for our money. And we actually can dictate whether the price is worth it. I always wondered what would happen, especially in California, because like you got to put your house up for a second mortgage to get gas in California right now. So I was always wondering what would happen. I've heard people discuss this and mention it, but they never gone through with it. What if there was a day where the whole state said, I'm not driving today?
Whoa.
Like what would happen if the whole state of California got on one mindset? That's why I'm like, I don't have conversations with people about politics because I'm like, if the people got on one accord, and they just for one day, it would hurt that industry so bad. It will hurt the oil industry if the whole state said, you know what, for one day, we're not gonna drive, we're not gonna buy gas. And people always say, Anthony, well, that's not possible. Before we were born, our moms were part of a boycott where Black America was like in the South was like, we're not riding buses until things change. And it hurt the industry because they stopped riding buses and they started walking everywhere. So it can happen. It just hasn't happened. And I think because people want to be popular and all this other stuff and not just make the stance. But I always wondered what would happen. What do you think would happen if we went that route?
Well, I think it had to be more than like gas because it's like this is the funny thing to me dealing with gas. You don't go do gas like one day.
That's true.
Gas one day, but the one that gets me is where they say we're not gonna go get gas today, but you're still gonna drive around. You're still using the same amount of gas, so then you're just gonna have to go buy more gas the next day.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. So if a week or something where we just
definitely
don't get gas, like a week.
100%.
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, that and oh man, some people be hurt. I think there'll be more stimulus checks or something going to California.
But the stimulus check will go to ARCO because they're gonna need it. Man, you know it's bad when ARCO start charging high. Like, yo, you already charged me 35 cents for using my card, and now you got this high gas price. We need to cancel that. But I think cancel culture is. Oh man, my phone's listening. Oh shoot, my phone's listening. It's just getting so bad. To take away, and here's the other thing: there's nothing worse than taking away somebody's livelihood. You know, Dave Chappelle gonna be all right. You know, we know Dave Chappelle. They tried to do it to Kevin Hart 3 years ago because of a tweet he put out in 2011. Okay, but you're trying to take away people's livelihoods, and it's such a hater move. It's such a hater move. It's. Where do you think it stems from? It's such a hater move. Like,
It's just entitlement to me. I know it's crazy to say, but it's entitlement. It's
mhm,
they feel so. One of my favorite quotes that was made up was uh, entitlement became a thing when participation became a trophy.
yeah,
So it's like a lot of people are getting very entitled, and they're like, "Well, since I feel this way, then it's done."
hmm,
Like, and if it affects somebody else, so what? This is how I feel. It's like
hmm,
real selfish.
yeah,
People don't think about it, but it's real selfish.
yes,
So I don't know, man. The whole kindness thing and like you should do what I want you to do, and because I feel that way. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like I said,
hmm,
if you were made up of like all puzzle pieces, and
hmm,
you started just gearing to everybody, like well, you don't like what I'm saying, so I'm gonna take a puzzle piece off here, and you don't like, dude, you look so crazy.
yeah,
You just pieces, and that's how it is. It's like the cancel culture is I don't like what you're saying, so you can't talk that way, or you
yeah,
can't do this, and you can't do that. And in that instance, you're never yourself at all.
yeah. I wonder how many people go through life, and I think another part of it too, Anthony, is just lack of identity. People like I feel like I don't have a beef with you having a certain identity, right? I don't have a beef with it. I have my beliefs, they're gonna have their beliefs, so I'm not gonna sway, I'm not gonna push my beliefs on somebody else, but I'm gonna let them have their identity. My identity is through Christ. I don't know what theirs is through, but I know where my identity comes from. But with that being said, if you need me to confirm your identity by treating you with what's the word? Um, soft gloves, I would challenge that you even believe in your own identity. Because if you need me to confirm your identity by defending who you are from somebody else, like I'm sorry. I outside of George Floyd, outside of the George Floyd incident, I'm never and outside of BLM because I have a history of beef with BLM. So outside of those two things, I never seen anybody come to the rescue for Black America outside of Black America. You know what I'm saying? And it's fine. Like at the end of the day, we have to understand. We came. I think African Americans are coming to a realization. I don't think anybody coming to help. I don't think anybody's coming to rescue us. And if we want to do something, we're gonna have to make it happen ourselves. You know, we even got promises. We don't want to get political, but we had promises from certain politicians that will remain nameless because he probably forgot his name too. But just still hasn't, pan out. And I'm never looked for it. But my point is, I don't understand why certain groups of people now we have to defend your identity. You get everything you want already. I may be harsh, I may be tough, but I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, if you cannot defend your own identity and be confident in who you are, no matter what a joke is said about you. Because there's a lot of people who make some really harsh statements about just other people in general. You know, I wish I could cancel people who talk crap about me. Like half the comments on my Facebook page, half those people will be, kicked off of Facebook because they hate me. But we can't, that's not how life works. And like you said, that participation trophy. I remember I shouldn't tell the story. I shouldn't tell the story. I'm gonna tell a story.
But
There's go ahead, go ahead.
but it isn't it just I mean, okay, I'm not a comedian, okay.
Okay. Yes.
But isn't comedian like their job is to just be able to make fun of different situations so that are going on, make light of certain things that are going on in the world and make people laugh. So I mean, they already have a dark place as it is, like things that they deal with. Like if you ever talk to military people, like military humor is something different. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So the aspect of for a comedian to be able to crack jokes, like what would the comedians crack jokes about if they had to worry about cancel culture and like would they even do stand up anymore? Would they even be
I
able to?
I th- I think one of the reasons why stand up has evolved, right? Because now thanks to cell phones, comedy has evolved because it's okay. I remember in 2006, Cat Williams had released Pimp Chronicles, and he did the bit. What was his bit about? He did the bit about he was like he hates when he has to buy weed and the dude at the place is trying to explain to him how this weed is stronger than last week's weed, and he does this bit like nigga, remember that stuff I gave you last week is nothing, it's nothing, and he does a whole bit on it. It was hilarious. I saw it on MySpace. I did not see it on Pimp Chronic. I hadn't watched Pimp Chronicles yet. And so he went to do his next special, and people were in the crowd literally want him to do the same bit that they saw on social media. And he's just like, how? I don't understand how you want me to do old bits to, how you come here wanting the old stuff. So he had to come up with new things. So it came to the point where social media was prevalent. People were taking phones to stand-ups, and then they were taking jokes out of context, which was ridiculous. Why go to the show and ruin somebody's bit like that? And to add to that, I think what makes comedy golden and what some of these guys really do well is they talk about the nuances. That's what makes comedy. They talk about the nuances. They go to the deepest, like you said, they go to the deepest end they can go.
Right.
And they don't make light of it, but they talk about the nuances. And as we're laughing, we're thinking. I've noticed that while people are laughing, I'm thinking like, I never thought of it. You must be in a deep, deep place to come up with a process like that. You know what I'm saying? And some comedians I think are just genius at it. Dave Chappelle clearly being one of them, because now I don't even think it's comedy what you call what he does. I think it's more commentary that you just laugh at, because he breaks things down and you're just like, I never saw it that way. But it's the nuances. And so it's just and Bill Burr, he's another comedian that he gets flack, but he's not at the place where cancel culture will come at him yet. But I think he's probably next on the agenda. And Bill Burr's gonna be all right. But Bill Burr made a statement where he talks about the best way that comedians can get around cancel culture is if they bought ad time on CNN. Did you see the nuance? But like when you hear him say it, I was like, yo, that's not the worst idea. Because if they had ad time on CNN wouldn't talk about them being canceled, because then they wouldn't get their money.
Man,
it's
I really just need to understand what this whole cancel culture in general. Like, I just need to sit here and figure this out.
It's toxic. What it is they're forcing mainstream companies and products to turn their backs on people because they feel threatened by their jargon, or they feel threatened by whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? So they want Netflix to drop Dave Chappelle after Dave Chappelle's made them millions and Netflix has made Dave Chappelle millions. So now they want to take away his livelihood and say, you know what, Netflix, you shouldn't support Dave Chappelle. That's what they're trying to cancel. They can't cancel Dave the person, but they can cancel corporate sponsorships. So that's what they're going after. They're going after all the corporate money that supports that individual. And I'm just confused on corporate companies taking a knee to this, which leads me, if Carla was here, she would be all in her conspiracy theories, like it's aliens, bro, whatever she says. But for Walmart and Netflix and Staples and Coca-Cola to bend their knee because somebody was offended. Like, think about it. Think about Kevin Hart, for example, right? He's hosting the Emmys, or the Oscars. He was hosting the Oscars. The Academy Awards took a knee because of a 20-year-old kid who saw a tweet that Kevin Hart put in 2011. Now, imagine you have to find a Kevin Hart tweet from 2011. Like Kevin Hart tweets Well, I don't know if he's on Twitter anymore, but I know I follow Kevin Hart on Instagram. This dude posts like 5 times a day. So for me to find something from 2011, I literally have to do this for days. Just hmm, hmm, hmm. You had to go all the way 2011 to find a tweet and say, yo, this is homophobic. See what he said in 2011, that's homophobic. Now listen, I'm not a celebrity. Thank God I'm not a celebrity, because I know that there's an email or a tweet or a text message that I sent to somebody that could come back and bite me in the butt, because, sometimes people evolve, right? We don't understand certain things as when we're younger, and then we get older and we go, oh, I didn't think of it that way. I have a change of heart. And that's what Kevin Hart went through. But 2011, he made a tweet, and a person who's a nobody. He's nobody. Nobody knows his name. Like, I seen this video. I don't remember his name. He's not in the industry at all. He was able to make the Academy Awards bow their knee and cancel Kevin Hart from doing their show.
Wow.
So going off of what you said, entitlement, can you imagine the entitlement that people feel like they have? Like, I wish, Anthony, I wish I could make Walmart do my bidding. I wish I could make Starbucks do my bidding. I'm like, yo, I'm going to take it. I'm going to make Starbucks do what I want them to do.
Man, that's
Yeah.
powerful.
It's powerful. And it's weird. It's toxic, right? So,
Yeah.
So with that being said, what's something that you can suggest that people need to do? Like, and toxic and cancel culture is so weird for the weirdest things, and it's so random. Like, I made a joke a year ago where I said they wanted to cancel Pepe Le Pew because he was molesting the cat. They wanted to cancel Dr. Seuss for racist things that I guess he said to somebody. They want to cancel Speedy Gonzalez because he was appropriating culture. But nobody cancels porn. Like, we could still get porn on our phones anytime we want to. So I'm just like, it's so random what we're canceling. Like, there should be things that we should cancel, and there's things that we need to leave alone. Like, what did Dr. Seuss do to you?
They want to cancel all the things we grew up on?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm waiting for them to come after Transformers. Like, they promote violence. It's like, oh, we fighting. So, what would you suggest? I don't know. I've actually had people tell me that when I was doing Superficially Deep, when we started doing Superficially Deep, a pastor said, I want you to pray that God protects you from cancel culture. And I kind of giggled, like, what? Cancel me? Yeah, you might be too conservative for them. And that's when I had to school them. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, we're not supported by Walmart. Like, Pepsi doesn't write me a check. So I'm not worried about people coming after me and be like, cancel Heritage Park. I'm like, who? Like, there's no one going to pull money from us. So it's like, we're uncancelable. But, we're unprofitable too. So, yeah. What do you suggest? You're being, I know you're taking it in. So what's some of the thoughts that you have hearing this coming from me? Because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it's just the fact of how you feel like you have to walk on eggshells for everything you do, which I don't know, it's hard to make sense of it for myself.
Yeah.
It's hard to make sense of. So you want someone to care about you, but you don't want to care about them enough for them to be able to say what they want to say. Like, I think Jordan Peterson said it the best, like a real brilliant mind. He said, basically, people are trying to control you with kindness. Like, you have to be kind to me a certain way. And it's like, no, I don't have to be kind to you.
Yes.
I mean, that's a choice.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, like, if I talk a certain way, if I talk that way, you don't have to be around me.
No.
So what does that say about me? Then I guess I'm not going to have friends, and people are not going to want to hang out with me.
Yes.
So that's the natural, I guess that'd be like the natural way of cancel culture, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
You won't be around. And then you be like that one guy that's sitting in the corner, like, no one wants to be my friend. Well,
Well,
probably should check yourself and see how you're talking to people.
exactly. So yeah, there are many comedians that have been canceled naturally because they're not funny or they're a dick. Like and Andrew Dice Clay. I don't know if you remember him. He was funny to some people, but he was offensive to others. So then people start picketing. Picketing is the most remedial way to make a statement, right? Like it's the most remedial way. If I'm a celebrity of any level and you're picketing me, that means you're giving me attention. And a celebrity wants the attention. That's their brand. Some celebrities like a Dave Chappelle, their brand is in provocation to some extent. So
Yeah.
the you coming at them just adds more value to his brand. You really want to hurt somebody, stop caring about them.
100%.
You stop talking about it. We stop talking about you, you're eventually going to go away. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think even to a lot of young people today, social media, the influencing game is all about attention. And there's nothing worse for these young people than you not giving them attention. And remember, we was kids, our moms used to say, you know what? Or we were raising kids. When we were raising kids, and our kids were babies. I don't know if they were this big, but they're babies. And they would throw a temper tantrum. And our parents would be like, the best way to fix that is don't give it attention. Like I had somebody when my kid would throw a tantrum, start kicking, and their mom would try to reach to him, and I'd be like, no, turn around. Turn around. And she would turn around. I said, don't even give her attention. Let's let her cry it out. She's gonna be embarrassed and she's gonna stop. Or she may she may turn it up to 11. And there's times she turned it up to 11. And as a parent, we turned it up to 12 and shut it down real quick. But when they realized that they weren't getting the rise out of you, that shuts them down. And so there's a natural progression to cancel culture. And I think it is making statements like that. I don't have to pick at Dave Chappelle. If I don't like him, I'm not gonna watch him.
That's the point right there that you just
Yeah.
said, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing that gets me is if you don't like them, don't watch them. Like, why are you the
Yeah.
people that go see him is because they want to
They
watch him.
wanted to watch him.
So why would you we need to cancel just people that want to see it. Like
Yeah.
you're just the person that doesn't want to see it, or like 10, 20, 30,000 of you don't want to see it. Like just to be
Yeah.
imagine how many more people do want to see it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And two more points, and two more points we could change the subject. Point number one is their argument to what we just said would be, well, he's promoting violence against the transgender community. And we don't have a stat to prove that's actual factual or not, because I don't see people walking around and say, Dave Chappelle told me to punch you in the face. Like, we don't have a stat that says that, you know what I'm saying? And there's no way to manufacture that statistic. And I know this for a fact. I keep quoting Bill Burr. He makes a statement where he talks about hitting women. And he says, we all know you can stop telling us that you can't hit a woman for any reason whatsoever. It takes an idiot to hit a woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like a man hits a woman and goes, "Oh, I'm not supposed to hit them." They know that they're wrong when they stepped into it. Like, I feel like people are in this mindset, like you said, with kindness. They think that if they take away the option, that takes away the motive of the evil person. So if you take away my gun, that takes away the motive to shoot somebody. But the problem isn't the gun. The problem is the person pulling the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take away my gun, but you didn't. If a person will go as far to shoot somebody, Anthony, they already have no regard for law.
right.
So if you make it illegal for me to carry a gun, he already doesn't have a regard for law. Therefore, he will break the law because it's a fact. He already broke the law. So us trying to quell the people who will not step and cross boundaries doesn't stop the people who always cross the boundaries. So you're trying to say this conversation will stop somebody from beating up a transgender. They're going to beat them up anyway. And that sounds harsh to say, but that's the world we live in. Like, there are people who I tell my kids all the time, not everybody's a good guy in this world, and even people, the Bible even talks about even people who are good have a bad thing. Like everybody's, if we were all perfectly fine and we were all perfectly good, there'd be no need for Jesus. So that was statement one, and I forgot statement number two because statement one was so dang good. I can't remember the say. Oh, and I do remember now. And just because you like it doesn't mean it shouldn't. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. It should be there. There's nothing more beautiful than options. I love the option. I get to choose Del Taco over Taco Bell. Neither one of them are good, but I like the power of choice. And it's not like Dave Chappelle said something off from what he normally says. Like anybody who knows Dave Chappelle and knows him from Killing Me Softly, which is the stand-up that he got famous for in the mid 90s. Okay, that one hilarious. He went in on he goes in on black people, he goes in on white people, and then when he did the Chappelle show for 2 years, he was laying into he was bodying everybody. He was bodying them. So to come out here and act shocked that he makes statements like this, his whole career is based off of that. Right. His whole career is based off of that. So that's like being upset because, Cat Williams talked about pimps. That's all he talks about. That's all he talked about. So anyway, do you have any last words on that before we change the subject?
What you said about, well, when I told my daughter, and you were talking about, I told my daughter, like, everybody is not going to like you.
Yeah.
I told her because some people are all about trying to please everybody. And I had to tell her that. And it's just, that's how I raise my children. It's like, I raise my children to understand who they are and themselves and what they, like you were talking about identity in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Somebody's going to make fun of you. Somebody's going to say something crazy about you. But as long as you know who you are, and as long as you know God loves you and stuff like that, why are you worried about it?
Yes.
So that's just where I see right now. I don't know. Like I said, I got to go research this cancel culture stuff you talk about.
This is crazy, right? But we're gonna kind of we're gonna transition into something that I really think you'll enjoy, because one of the things I'm really trying to get into people's head is, especially when it comes to cancel culture, because I don't know why we talk about it because we're not celebrities. However, it still is happening. I tell people all the time, when you want, if there's something about wasting your energy trying to get corporations and other people to do what you want them to do, the best thing to do is you do it yourself, right? And I tell people all the time, the problem is with most Americans is that they don't have a chair. And when I use the term chair, I mean, you're not the head of anything.
Right.
You're not at the table, and we need to, you want to do something with your life, you want to be something important, you got to get a chair. Then cancel culture doesn't affect you. Like Dave Chappelle's like, okay, don't put my movie. I'll put my own money up and put it in theaters myself, and that's what he's doing, which is watch. I'm going to say this right here on Epic Thoughts on the first Tuesday of November, 2021 with Anthony Griffith. That's my witness. This movie, if he puts it out in theaters, it's going to start becoming high in demand, and he's going to have to put it in more theaters. And the first movie company distributor that jumps on this and puts this film out is going to be a very wealthy company. And that's a step towards canceling cancel culture. But back to that's prophecy, bro. That's epic thought prophecy right there. But again, you have to be in control of your own business. You got to be in control of your own brand. Ice Cube walked away from a movie set this week. Sony was making a movie with him and Jack Black, and on the part of the contract was he would have to get vaccinated to do the movie. He has to be vaccinated to be on set. Now, Ice Cube has not gone live about where his stands on vaccination. I respect that as a celebrity, to let people choose themselves and not like, I did it, so you should do it. But it is important to know, because it's important to the story, Ice Cube is not vaccinated. He walked away, Anthony, from $9 million just because you can't tell Ice Cube what to do. Ice Cube, like I can imagine Ice Cube like, yay, and walk out the door. He left $9 million off the table. That takes some cojones right there to make a stand. And listen, I love it how it's very quiet. This is not a conversation that he's not talking about on Twitter or anything like that. It's a business move. He said it's a business decision that he had to make, and he made it. It's about him. It was a choice that he made, and I really respect that it was a choice that he made for himself, and that he didn't let the capitalism, the dirty version of business. Sony was like pushing everybody on the set, including the actors, including him, had to be vaccinated, and he said no, walked away, left $9 million on the table.
So are they still looking for somebody?
Yeah, hey,
Because
Sony, if you need somebody though, I mean, yeah. I've been on. Listen, I'll tell you right now. My stance on the vaccine is I've been on the line, Anthony. I've been right there. I've been teetering back and forth. Like, should I get it? Should I not get it? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm not confident. But you throw $9 million in my face, and I'll be like, I'm gonna get my shot Monday. Don't worry about it, Sony.
my shot and the boosters.
Booster, get all at one time. I'll be at Walgreens with a mask. I'm like, don't worry about it. Just put this one in this arm, put Moderna in this one, put Pfizer in this one. Like whatever I need to do. If it's $9 million, and I can learn some lines, man. I mean, I can do Ice Cube's job. It's no problem. You know what I'm saying? So but I think that was the gangster's move in the world. And that's where I think we need to be at as a people, Anthony. Just not just as a Black community, but just the people in general. Like, get to the point where you run your own thing, and you get to dictate how you want to work and how you want to navigate through life. You know, what are some of the qualities that you feel like takes to get to that point in life where you're like, you know, I run my own brand, I run my own business. Like you run your own business,
Right.
and you train people all the time to take their business to the point where it's their business. You know, like what you do is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Your business is about helping families, but also a part of helping families is creating wealth for them, and have them taking responsibility for their own businesses and making things happen and moves on their end. So, what are some qualities you think needs to happen for people if they want to be that person? Like everyone talks about they want to be the guy, but what are qualities that takes to be that guy or girl?
I think one is like self-awareness and like your identity. That's crazy that we're still on identity aspect. You have to know who you are.
Mhm.
You have to know what your values and principles are, what you will stand for. I mean, Denzel did the same thing a long time ago when he talked about when he first got into the film industry and they tried to make him do a role. He said he wasn't going to do it,
Yeah.
and he actually had to talk to.
Is this the one where they want him to kiss Julia Roberts and he didn't want to do it because his fan base was all Black women? He was like he didn't want to disrespect them by kissing a white woman.
Nah, it was one way before that. He said I forgot exactly how he said it, but he said basically he was just that black guy in the movie. He was just gonna be this messed up black guy who's getting in trouble for something. And he was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to play that role. And he
Mm,
had to talk to a couple of his mentors, and he was just like, they were like, don't do it if you don't want to. And it
mhm.
was a really good paying role, and he just decided not to. But look where Denzel is now.
Yeah.
So it's knowing who you are and what you stand for. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. It's just knowing what you stand for. If
Mhm.
that's who you are, then I would take that person knowing what they stand for over a person who's just gonna just bend to anything.
Yeah.
So that's a real big thing to me, the identity, because I think if you know who you are, what you're pushing for, what you want, uh, that's what's gonna drive you. It doesn't matter what comes your way.
Mhm. Non-negotiable. So it's kind of like non-negotiables. Like you had to have your list of non-negotiables. Do you mind? What are some of your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables.
Mhm.
Not affecting my integrity. Like I'm not going to do something against what's not right.
Mhm.
I'm a big person, big component of fairness. Uh, and fairness. Speaking of fairness, like I'm not mean like fairness, like everybody should get the same thing. No, that's not fairness. Fairness is they should have their options and they should get to choose what they want.
Yeah.
Um, fairness is one of my big non-negotiable. Like you have to, it just has to be fair. It has to work. And of course, we say like favor's not fair, but it's still fair in a way because it's what you choose. Like what's for you is for you, so
Mhm.
it's still fair.
Yeah.
Uh, Another non-negotiable, something real. It has to be in your heart. Like I love the people who are passionate about what they do. It's just you have to be passionate because if you're not, then you're not going to do. To me, you're not going to do what's best for the person that you're working with or what you're doing. If you're not
Bro.
passionate about it, it's just you're just going to sit there and do it this way and not understanding where people are.
Bro, that's a big deal right there. Passion, being passionate about what you're doing. I love, I love passion. I love it. Like when people, I pick passion. I don't know if I pick passion over talent when it comes to actors, because listen, we need actors, and they just gotta know what they're doing. But if somebody's passionate about working with us at a certain level, I will be it'll be hard to not gravitate to that person. It's hard to not gravitate to someone who's passionate, you know. Passionate people show up on time, you know. Passionate people show up excited and ready to get things done. That's what passionate people are, you know. So you're right. I That's a thing for me. That's a big deal. If you want to get somewhere far in life, ladies and gentlemen, listen to Anthony. He knows what he's talking about. If you want to get somewhere, and you ain't got no passion, bro, oh my God, you're not gonna wake up in the morning on time. You're not gonna come at 110% ready to go. And God, I want to add something to what you were talking about. Fair. Fair is not everyone. I agree. Fair is not everyone getting the same thing. Fair is you know, fair is, hey, we got this football league and everyone gets a chance to be on the team.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the best at the game and what team wins has nothing to do with fairness. But everyone got opportunity. You know,
Right.
that's little league, and we as kids the participation trophies. We drew the line and we stopped at fairness. Everyone should play the same position. Okay, if I got 9 homies playing pitcher, we're gonna lose when they hit the ball to right field because there's nobody over there. And I used to tell my team that, like, everybody can't play pitcher, everybody can't play first base. I had a kid who wanted to play first base. True story, Anthony wanted to play first base, and I'm gonna say his name because I don't care. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm gonna tell the story because I don't care. He couldn't play in comparison to 2 other dudes who wanted to play first base, and they were ballers, ballers. This kid, I would give him an instruction. I'm his coach, Anthony. I'm his coach. And I'll tell him, yo, man, I show him the sign like, yo, steal second. Right? He see the sign and he look at his mom who's in the stands and basically give her a look like he wants me to steal second. And then the mom will walk in the middle of the game. He doesn't like stealing bases because he gets thrown out. And I'm like, thank you. And I went back to the board and I did like, you're gonna steal second. And then the true story, Anthony, pitcher pitches the ball. The kid stood there. And I'm like, and then the mom said, he doesn't like stealing second. And I looked at the mom and the kid looked at his mom. His mom said, he doesn't like stealing second. Pitcher pitches the ball. The kid's still sitting on first base. So I yelled at the kid in front of everybody. I was like, yo, on this next pitch, run from first base to second. You're going to steal second. Gave up the whole play. Told the other team, he's still in second, ladies and gentlemen. I gave him instructions to steal second. Anthony, this kid still stayed at first base at the pitch. The inning ended. I sat his butt on the bench. And I was like, you sit down right there. We have to get equal play. So no, we don't. This is not how life works, bro. You can't keep it. You can't. Your mom can't come fight your battles. Like, if you are not going to work and make a difference and try to compete, then sit here on the desk. I know a kid that'll steal. Every one of my kids will steal, especially if a big black man is looking at this little white kid like, steal second base. Even I've had kids my size, like 12-year-olds pushing 235, 240, and I'll be still second. And they're like, yes, coach. And they hustle their little booty across the field. And guess what? That's what you're supposed to do. But we drew the line at participation. Like, everyone gets a trophy. No, that kid shouldn't get a trophy. And his mom got mad because I was like, no, I don't give away participation trophies. We didn't give them away. We lost. we played 28 games that year, lost 25 of them. And I said, what makes you think we should get a trophy? Because we played. We lost. We got our butts kicked every night.
Your trophy was playing. That was your trophy. You
That
played.
was the trophy. You got to play. And what he did wasn't playing because he wouldn't steal second base. He just wouldn't steal. He just wouldn't steal. All right. So enough of that. But yeah, man, we need to be like Ice Cube, man. Unless, you know.
Stand for something. Stand for it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Do it.
And also know that you're right. Stand for it if that's what you want to do. But they also know that when you make that stand, there will be consequences. I think people want to live a life without consequences. Listen, the consequence for Ice Cube is he's going to walk away from $9 million. But he counted the costs, and there was something greater than that value. Okay, so you can't buy Ice Cube, apparently. So it was like, he fine. And I looked him up. He's worth $600 million. So he's straight. So nice. Yeah. So I mean, but you know, and people need to know, well, it costs $9 million. You know, that's the cost of entrepreneurship. Sometimes you're gonna miss a payout. Like we talked about this morning. Sometimes you're gonna take an L.
Definitely.
But you know, for the greater good, he gets to keep his integrity intact. His stance, wherever he believes, he gets to keep that intact. And he's got a sense of pride, like, yo, I still got me. Right. I still got my health to an extent. You're not going to move him to do something he don't want to do. You know, I think that's very important, especially in business. So we have a few minutes left here. So I'm going to ask you some random questions.
Let's go.
All right. Give us some money saving tips. Oh, hold on. We got a text. Hold on. The text came in. Anisha Desjardins. What up, Anisha?
Hey.
I like this statement, Anisha. We cannot live as if another opportunity will never come. If it is meant to be, it will come again. You know, and I'll add to that, Anisha, because I agree with you 100%. And we don't know how Hollywood works, but him walking away may get him the gig, you know, because if Sony really wants Ice Cube, guess what? They're going to change their tune.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if that don't work, he'll make another Friday movie. Ice Cube, that's another prophetic word. Ice Cube is making another Friday film and is going to make big money because he, like Dave Chappelle, he cannot be canceled. You can't be canceled. You own your own stuff. You just can't own your own stuff. All right. I'm sorry. Back to you, Anthony. Money saving tips. What are some money saving tips that can help people? And we're actually going into the holiday season, stuff like that. So what are some money saving tips that you can give people?
Money saving. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. Jeez. Like money saving.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Don't spend money. I wish I could. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. Anthony, bro, we had a contract with this guy who wanted Heritage Park to do some commercials for them. And he was a credit. Did I talk about this morning?
No.
All right. He does credit repair. Bro, first of all, if you're in the business of trying to fix your credit, I think everybody should fix their credit. You need to kind of get your mind around fixing your credit, especially, listen, there's millions of Americans who have horrible credit and they don't know how to change it. And the truth is that it's a game that we don't have the rules to. They didn't tell us how to play this game. You know, like imagine me giving you a basketball, you ain't never seen the basketball, or I created a sport, Anthony, called Kick the Bucket. Imagine me putting you on the field and say, we're going to play Kick the Bucket. I know the rules and you don't. You're going to lose. So that's what the credit game is. And I did these videos. We did 15 commercials with them. And in between takes, I was like, wait, is that real? And he was like, yeah. So I put some of the things in practice. Bro, when I kid you not, I checked my credit score this morning. My credit score jumped 60 points in all 3 bureaus. And I made one small decision, one small change in the last 3 weeks. And my score went up 60, bro. Like I've never had this higher credit. And I had credit card companies sending me credit cards. And now I know how to use them because of this thing. The Bible talks about my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And Man, yeah, spending money you don't have. If you have a credit card, do not listen to me. If you have a credit card and you have a balance higher than 20% of the limit, pay that sucker down today. It will save your credit card. It will save your score. What's some other money saving tips you got?
Find out what your needs are versus what your wants are. I know that's like, I mean, it sounds so regular, but a lot of people like they say okay, for instance, I don't know why I just thought out for cable, right? Who
Mhm.
really uses cable first off? Like you really
Yes.
don't need to,
Yes.
but you don't need to have Disney Plus, Hulu, it start naming like all 5 million different streaming things. You don't need all those. And believe it or not, I mean, who watches the television itself a whole bunch? Like, you don't need 5,000 TVs in the house. Black Friday is coming up, by the way. And if you
Yeah.
don't know the history of all that kind of stuff, Black Friday is not for you. It's not for like Black Friday is for companies to make their money back, get from the red into the black, like
Yes.
to get positive.
You're bailing out. Let's for real quick. You're bailing out the company on Black Friday. That's why it's called Black Friday, to get them out of the red into the black, and they're using us to bail them out of their bad business habits because they know they can do whatever they want because they know that the day after Thanksgiving we're gonna buy a brand new TV that we don't need. We don't need it.
So if you don't need it right now, then I wouldn't say just go out and spend just because even if it looks like a good deal.
Mm,
Um, Cash again, to me these are like normal things to say,
mhm.
but cash envelope game.
Yeah.
So you put a certain amount of money in cash into envelope, whether that be your spending money for say for Christmas or this, and you only spend what's in there.
Mhm.
And you'll believe me, you'll look at it and you'll be like, dang, I only got like I've done it before where you like have food money, you only
Mhm.
have like $50 for this week, and you
Yeah.
look and you be like, I want to go buy that Whopper meal, but it's $9. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that today.
$9, man. $9. Here, I got a money saving tip on the fast foods. Stop letting people treat you like an animal. Don't let people feed you through your window. That's a health thing and a money thing. You're not an animal. Don't let these companies feed you through a window. You're not a monkey. Like one day I sat in the drive-through, dude, and I was like, "Yo, they feed me like I'm an animal. They literally throw food at through my window, and I paid them for it. Like, yo, not only am I losing money, I'm losing respect. Stop getting fed through a window.
Wow, I've never even thought about that like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I'm
told me
letting
to
them.
walk inside? Walk inside.
Yeah, if you can, you've been walking to Taco Bell, bro. Yeah, that I still don't go. I don't go to fast food. I haven't done it in a while. Down 70, feeling fit, feeling lean.
Nice.
But yeah, that was one of the changes I made. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes here. Top 3 goals. You have 60 days left in the new year. You have about 60 days left. What are the top 3 goals that you're trying to get done this year?
Oh my gosh, man. Top three goals. Uh I want to hit I don't even know if I can explain it. I want to hit a certain level in my business, if you will.
Okay.
Um, I want to get a certain amount of people promoted.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get a certain amount of people promoted. It's all about to me. It's all about my team and what I'm doing with them and how I'm helping somebody get to the next level.
Yeah.
60 days left. I think we're at 100. We want to help 100 families
Okay.
uh, before the end of the end of the year. At least 100 families right
Cool.
now. And
Awesome.
yeah, I wish I can give you a whole bunch of those.
That's all right.
It's
Ladies
almost
and gentlemen, we got 60 days left. And can you believe it? 60 days and then the year is
oh,
over.
lose weight, bro. I gotta
Lose
lose
weight.
some weight, man.
Let's wrap, bro. Let's do it together, man. I need people to do this with me. I need accountability. Accountability is a tough game to follow, man. Get your health back. It's very important, bro.
And 4 more books. Read 4 more books.
4 more books. All right. What book are you reading now? What's the newest book that you're on?
Book. I'm waiting for my daily laws to come in from Robert Greene.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of Robert Greene. That's actually one of his books right there. That big nice book, that red book.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of his books. I was just waiting for his book to come in so I could start reading that right now.
Awesome. So that's say it again.
Daily Laws by
Daily
Robert
Laws.
Greene.
All right. The book I'm reading right now is I should do this part of Epic Thoughts. As guess what are you reading? Like the book I'm rereading Purpose Driven Life.
Yes.
Rereading it, and I'm taking a lot of different things to heart. And then I'm waiting for my book, The Family Budget. So that was pretty interesting. Talks about universal index. Have you heard of that?
Oh yes.
I know you heard of it. I know you heard of it.
Yes.
Man,
How many people are talking about that now, though, bro?
No, I mentioned it. I went to my bank account. I went to my bank, and I asked the teller, "So, do you guys have any like accounts, like index accounts?" And he looked at me and didn't know what I was talking about. And then he gave me a personal banker, and then I asked her, and she didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, "Why don't people know about universal index? Like, I know you know about it because it's in your field, but yo, you had to do a show one day, and you should do a video and break down a lot of these little things like the universal index law, the rule of 72, things about money that people just don't know about and that the banks are keeping a secret from you. We're putting our money in these savings account and we're getting nothing back from them, and bro, universal index, I read about it and my brain literally fell out my ears and I'm just like, what? We ain't got time to get into that. Maybe we got to do another show in a month or so. You just school everybody.
Well, just like you said, though, it's a game. It's a money game, and we don't know the rules to it.
Yeah. Yes. Like I've realized I'm 44 and I don't know how much money I've thrown away trying to do, bro. One day we'll talk about. We should do a show about money. I thought this show was going to be about money, but apparently it wasn't. We talk about cancel culture. We need to do a show about money, man. And you can redirect all my bad decisions because like I had monies in CDs. You know what I'm saying? Just rap with us, bro. But it's getting late. It's 10:30 where you are. It's time for you to go home and be with your family, get some rest. You got another day tomorrow. And I want to thank everybody for watching Epic Thoughts on Heritage Park TV, YouTube, and Epic Thoughts on Facebook. Go to heritageparkproductions.com and make sure you go to the section where you get to shop for clothes and hats and stuff like that. We got new fall arrivals are there. Got some cool little gear stuff. We got backpacks, hats, all that stuff. You can get the old Rohmon album. Go on Spotify, get the new Rohmon album. But if you type in Epic at checkout, you'll get 20% off the entire order. And so do that today. Support Heritage Park. And if you don't have HB TV on Roku, get it. And we have a special announcement we can't announce today. We have to announce next week. But Anthony, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you, man. You killed it. To all my epic thinkers out there, love. And we will talk to you next week. God bless.